hello, wonderful people. Hello. Welcome to a new week, brand new week, new beginning. Welcome to this week's Goddess Energy Forecast. My name is Abigail Mensah. For those of you who are new to my channel and those of you who are new to the weekly Goddess Energy Forecast, I am the founder of the Moon Goddess Publishing, Moon Goddess Academy, and the Moon Goddess Circles. Let's begin. So I have a big message for you today. And the support that is coming in for you is priceless. You know, we have the messages that you'll be receiving, and then we also have a message from Mother Mary. And you understand why Mother Mary is stepping in, especially with the theme that is coming in this week. Yesterday is very interesting because I just felt like I wanted to cry, like all day I wanted to cry. And it was like in the evening, I just went outside and I looked up and I was like, oh, it's a lot of people feeling grief right now. It's a lot of people feeling grief, a lot of people feeling that sadness. And what I'm getting, what is causing the sadness is that they're moving, they're transforming from where they were to a new place. They're already in a new place and they're grieving the old, right? They're grieving the old part of themselves, the old part of their life. They're realizing that there's no normal to go back to. They're realizing that what they thought worked does not work. And so they're grieving this transformation. They're grieving this what am I looking for? Transition. There we go. They're grieving this transition. So that's one part of it. The other part that came in was actually something that I experienced yesterday too. Have you ever had, like you're talking to someone and they make an opinion of you and they completely just shut you out, so then you don't have any way of you sharing your response? You didn't get to speak up. You didn't get the opportunity to share your truth with that person. It's like they just kind of like came in with this, just kind of like onto you and then shut you off. And, of course, here's the thing. You have no control about what other people think of you, how people see you, what they're going to say about you. We have no control over that. What we have control over is how we receive it, how we process the emotions, and what we do to move forward from there. So this is something I'm going to teach you from my own experience. I've talked to a lot of people where they're like, oh, this person in the past did me so wrong. I never got the opportunity to tell them what they did, how that affected me. Or I didn't get an opportunity to express how I felt. Or I didn't get the opportunity to speak up. When that happens, it's heartbreaking. Right? It's heartbreaking. You end up, if you're not aware of the impact of that on you, you end up replaying that instance over and over because your mind is trying to find a solution to shut that door completely. It's like you don't have what word am I looking for? There's a word for this where you're not, I'm just going to say solution. Like the doors cannot be closed completely. Is it satisfied? Resolved, right? You don't have a resolution. It hasn't been resolved because you weren't able to share your truth. So I'm going to share with you some tips. If you've experienced something like this, whether recently or in the past, this will be really good for you. And Mother Mary is here to really hold you in her arms, to really help you release it and heal so that you can close that door finally and move forward. I'm able to do this now quicker because of all the experiences I've had in the past, right? The more you do this, the easy it is. Easy in a way as in you don't stay in this place of replaying for like months and months and months or years, right? You get to go through it within days and then you're done and you can move forward. So I was having a conversation with this woman who wanted to be my multi-author book, and she was so excited to be in there. And then I shared the investment with her, and immediately she said, if I wanted to invest in someone, I would invest in someone I trust. And she completely shut me off and blocked me. And I'm like, what in the heck? So I'm looking at my screen like, what in the heck is that all about? You know, I've been very fortunate to have amazing conversations with people, you know, even if they're not able to step into the book through the, you know, the investment, even if they don't have the resources right now, you know, we're able to have a really good conversation, so that they, you know, we leave the door open where in the future, if they still want to step into any of my projects, they can. But not everyone is like that, right? Not everyone is like that. But what bothered me the most is I wasn't able to even say, hey, I get it, right? I understand. You don't, it's okay. It's totally okay. You go through your process. If it is meant to be, it will happen, right? I didn't even get to say that. And so I was like left in this mind space where I was trying to find, you know, a solution, like, oh, you know, like replaying like different instances, how this could have been, you know, like how would it have looked like if I said this instead, or if it's a mess. Because what it comes down to is that there's nothing I could have done about that, because it has nothing to do with me. That is the truth. It usually has nothing to do with you. You're being projected upon, by their own fears, by their own trauma, by their own pain, by their own hurt, right? Whatever it is that they're going through is what they're projecting onto you, right? The hard part is that you don't get to even recognize that. You don't even get to, you know, say something like, hey, I understand, right? Like, you go through your process, you do you, kind of thing. And then so that happened. And then within minutes, you know, I'm talking to my husband, and he was like walking while I was talking to him, and he closed the door, it wasn't intentional, but it was like a reinforcement to what had already happened, which I ended up talking to him about that. And what I realized is that the reason why I experienced the second part is that I needed to sit with that emotion. I need to sit through it and allow the emotions to just come in and move out, right? Instead of just being here and trying to think about all the scenarios I could have done, right? It's allowing like the emotion, what is that emotion that wants to surface? And taking a look at that, you know, emotion, and looking at it with a like a clear vision, with a sense of the truth, like, what is the truth in this situation? It has nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing to do with me, right? Sitting with the truth and allowing, we have to remember, emotions are water, right? Water needs to flow. What happens when water sits in one place in a long time? It gets stagnant. It starts to, you know, it gets stinky. It gets clouded. It gets pretty gross, right? So think about that as you're working with your emotions. Your emotions want to flow. They want to move in and move out, right? That is like the ebb and flow. They come in, they show you the truth, and then they move on. But when we hold on to it, when we hold on to the pain, when we hold on to all of that stuff, which is not even about us to begin with, it actually hurts us more than it hurts the people that initiated that. So think about that. So what I did, I'm going to teach you this. So if you have experiences or any instance where you weren't able to speak your truth or get your voice out, or to defend yourself, you know, basically it's about speaking up, not being able to speak up, and not being able to feel heard, right, by the other person. And it's just like one way kind of thing. This will be for you. So this is something I've done for years, absolutely years. And this is why I'm grateful that I have spiritual tools. This is why I'm so grateful that I'm fully grounded in my spirituality, which is my connection with my divine self, with the divine source, mother, angels, archangels, all of that deliciousness, right? Because this is where it comes into contact. And when that happened, what came to my mind is exactly that. Well, I'm thankful that I have another way to work through this. And so what I do is usually I'll call the person's energy in a sacred space, and I'll have a conversation with that person. Hey, baby. So what I did was call her into a sacred space, energetically. I call her essence, her pure essence in. And immediately, like when she stepped through, it's her higher self that I'm working with here. And I do this with my husband so that we can have better communication. Like if you want to have good communication with someone, whether it's your partner or family, do this energetically, like have this conversation, like higher self to higher self first, because it is priceless. So I call her higher self shows up so quickly, right? And immediately she's like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. My human self did this out of fear of what the response might be. And immediately I was like, that was a coward mood, right? Because this is where you get to voice yourself. So don't hold back. Don't be like that whole love and light. You can't, like, no, this is your opportunity for you to say what you needed to say. This is a sacred space that you have created. No one is going to get hurt here. This is just a space for you to speak up and to be heard, right? That person's higher self is not a human. So it's not going to take it in and be like, oh, you hurt me and all of that stuff. No, so I was like, that was a coward mood. I was just trying to help her. I would have said this instead. And her higher self has said, I'm sorry. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And just by hearing that, like that whole emotion just kind of like, whew, right? My mind rested. I wasn't playing, like trying to replay the scenario, come up with a solution, right? And I just blessed her on her way, and she blessed me back. And that was it. That was the end of that. And it was closed. The door is closed, it's done. We can move forward, right? So if you've experienced something like conflict, hurt with someone that you didn't get to voice yourself, this is a great tool. This is a great exercise for you to use. I've done this for years and I still do. And it doesn't even have to be like, only when there's conflict. Like I do it with my son. I will call in his higher self and be like, what does he need right now? What does he need? Tell me what he needs. What does he want to eat? Where does he want to go? Like I do that with his higher self, which I'm doing that right now. And I get that information of your boss into a sacred space where it's higher self to higher self, and have that conversation in that space first, energetically, right? Because what happens when you meet that person in person is going to feel like you already have that conversation. It's going to run smoothly. You're going to honor each other. Like it's beautiful what happens. This is why I love what I do. As above, so below. We always have to remember this. What we want in the spiritual realm is what transpires in the physical. A lot of people tend to just focus on the physical. I'm going to try to make it work. I'm trying to make it work. And they just bypass the spiritual realm. But because you don't have the foundations built in the spiritual realm, in your spiritual realm, which is begins in your heart, it begins within yourself, right? If you've been following me for a while, you know what that means. Because you don't have that built there first, it cannot come into the physical, right? So you got to pull it, you got to create it above so that it can manifest physically below, right? You got to create whatever that is in your spiritual temple so that it can manifest in the physical. So you don't even have to wait till something bad happens to use this tool. Use it in your everyday life. Before I go live, I call in all the higher selves of those who are meant to work with me. And I ask them to show up, to see it, to see the message, to have the courage to say yes to themselves, to have the resources and finances, money to say yes to me so they can sign up for it. We have a conversation before I even go live. So by the time I click on that button to go live, their higher self have already notified them. And for some reason, they pop into Facebook and the first thing they see is my video, right? This is what you can use. It's a very powerful tool. But Mother Mary is like, but bring it back. This week, If you find yourself remembering, okay, so there's another thing coming. The reason why this is coming in, if you find yourself remembering past hurts, past experiences where you didn't get to speak up, you didn't get to defend yourself, and you've been just kind of reliving it over and over, this is for you. Mother Mary is really going to work with you this week to help you bring some resolution to it. The other thing that I think the reason why this is coming is because Chiron, which is the Chiron is the planet of, it's called the Wounded Healer. It's about really self-mastery, or the mastery of the healer within, right? But we need to understand it. Chiron helps us understand how we need to heal ourselves first before we can heal anyone else. So that makes a lot of sense why this might be coming up for a lot of people, the grief, the pain, right? This is just one of the things that might come up for you. So pay attention to what is coming up. Remember the emotions, acknowledge the emotions, the hurts that happened when, the hurt that came up as that happened, the pain, acknowledge it. Water wants to flow. Your emotions wants to come through and then move on. It does not want to sit within you and rot and get stinky and gross, right? So the best way to allow water to flow, to allow the emotions to flow, is to acknowledge it. You need to acknowledge it. You need to hear yourself. You need to see yourself first before you can expect someone else to do it. You can't expect anyone else because they have their own choice. They can choose to acknowledge you. They can choose to see you. They can choose to hear you. It is up to them. There's nothing you can do. But what you have control over is you can see yourself first. You can hear yourself first. You can acknowledge your emotions. You can be there for yourself first. So use this tool to bring in some closure this week for you. What are you being asked to face so you can bring closure to? Pay attention to that. Chiron is a very powerful, powerful planet. I don't even know if it's a planet, right? Because it's not one of those that people usually work with, like Jupiter and Mars and Venus, Mercury being the famous one, right? Chiron is kind of like one of those that, and perhaps this is it brings in really deep teachings. It's really about the wounded healer finding his or her power, her healing power, his or her healing power to step forward and be of greater service to themselves and humanity. And so there's a lot of things that get kicked up when this planet steps in and goes retrograde, right? There's a lot of things that get kicked up for us to heal once and for all. So if you've had a heartbreak in the past that you never brought closure to, it will come up, and it will come up with a solution. And one of the tools that I just shared with you is a great way to work through. We can always go to the past energetically and bring resolution. I've done this so many times with myself and with my clients with great success. We are multidimensional being in this way. We're able to travel to the past, to the future. We can do all of that to different realities, to different dimensions, to gather whatever it is that we need in order to move forward in the present moment. So this is a very simple but yet powerful tool. Pay attention to what is coming up to be healed, what is coming up to be resolved, but make sure you pay attention to your emotions. Acknowledge your emotions. This is how I feel right now. Like literally, that's all you need to do. Your emotions just want you to see it. That's all you need to do to allow it to flow by. Our emotions get stuck because we don't allow ourselves to be there, to sit with it. And when I say sit with it, I'm not talking about wallowing in grief and pain for years. No, I mean, at this moment, how am I feeling? Acknowledge, I am feeling pain. Where is the pain in my body? I am feeling it, in my shoulder, right? Where am I feeling the grief? Right? I'm feeling grief. Where am I feeling the grief in my body? Oh, it's in my stomach, right? Go into it. What is the energy of this grief? What does it look like? What color is it emanating? And how can I transform it? How can I transmute it? How can I bring healing there? Once you identify where these emotions are stuck in your body, I want you to call in Mother Mary. I also want you to call in Archangel Raphael, who is the archangel overseeing healers and healing, right? I mean, he does so many things. I say he, but don't get attached to he, she, okay? When it comes to the angels, is their pure energy, right? But just whatever feels good to you, you can use that. If she feels good to you as, masculine energy, go for it. If it's feminine, go for it. Does not matter to them, right? But call them in and see this beautiful emerald green light, like rain, emerald green rain, just rain upon you and entering into all the spaces that you're storing these deep emotions that are still affecting you in this present moment. And just breathe into it and watch this emerald green light go and heal and resolve and restructure and transform, do whatever it needs there. Supporting your body fully as you heal, as you release. So I'm going to summarize it. Identify what emotions you're feeling from that experience. Identify where that emotion is stuck within your body. Call in Mother Mary, Archangel Raphael, and receive that emerald green rain into your body or wherever that, whatever area of your body, and breathe and allow it to just do its work. The next step will be calling that person into a sacred space. Again, this is something you do with your higher self. You can say, divine higher self, create a sacred space and bring the higher self of this person into this space so that we can have a conversation and resolve this once and for all. And your higher self will do it. That person's higher self already will probably feel it and will show up. Sometimes your higher self just needs to go bring the higher self in. It depends on how good you are with your higher self. It can be quick like that, or it's a process, as you are getting comfortable with working with your higher self. So have your higher self create a sacred space, call that person into that space, have that conversation with that person's higher self as if that person is right here, right now, physically, and you're talking to them. Do not hold back what you want to say. Okay. Do not go into, oh, we're in a sacred space. I am my higher self. So that means I have to be all good. I cannot cuss. No. Okay. You say exactly what you want it to say. This is how you release it. This is how you let it go. This is how you resolve it. Right. Remember, the higher self of the other person is not human. It's not going to be like, oh, you hurt me. Oh, I'm taking this into heart. No, the higher self is in the purest self. So it's holding space for you. You'll be amazed what happens in this space. So go, whatever needs to come out, say it in this space, get it resolved with that person, close the door and move forward. All right, taking a deep breath in and out. Close your eyes. I want you to just use your breath and come into your heart. Gonna call in the divine to flood through you with its golden light and anchor into your heart, as well as flow into all the areas of your body, going out through your feet and anchor into the earth, go through the earth. I'm going to call in the divine light, the divine essence from the divine mother to come up through the earth, come in through your feet, through your legs, anchor within your heart, and continue to spread throughout your body. Let's go ahead and call in your higher self to also present his or herself within your heart now. And as all three energies within your heart come together, they explode, expand, and create this luminous, beautiful bubble of light all around you. Breathe into this space, centered in this union of love that is all around you, love and nurture and healing, and breathe. I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael to come in, Mother Mary to step in. I'm going to call in all your divine posse, all your divine team to show up now to support you. I'm going to ask that the emerald green light begin to fall into and all around you. Taking a deep breath in here and out. Receive, receive, receive. As you're receiving this emerald green light, if you've been feeling like that heaviness within you, go ahead and do that process. Name the emotion you're feeling. Where are you feeling that emotion? And then allow that emerald green light to flow right there. Allow Archangel Raphael and Mother Mary to work their magic. Identify it, speak it out. Use your breath to release it as they're doing the magic, as they're helping you heal and release. Use your breath. Beautiful. I just want to say thank you, beloved Chiron, for showing up. Yes, you are in retrograde, but we know that every time you go into retrograde, there's powerful, powerful teachings that come through, powerful transformations that happen. So we are open to receiving your blessing through this time. Guide us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now that we have everything centered, everyone here for you, let's go ahead and ask this question. What message is for my highest good this week? 1, 2, or 3? And once you have received your number or numbers, taking a deep breath in and out. Stay centered within your heart. Open your eyes, ready to receive your message. So we're going to start out with the individual messages first, and then we're going to move into the message from Mother Mary. So if you were drawn to, or if you received card number 1, here is your card, which is really cool. It said, ignite your passion for life. Kundalini rising. Look at how beautiful this card is. And the flames like surrounding this luminant being is like peacock feathers in a way, but just fiery. Look at how beautiful it is. Card number 1. If you receive card number 1 to guide you through this week, Kundalini rising. It's your choice. Ignite your passion for life. So here's your message. Receive. Kundalini energy is non-dominational. It resides within every person, regardless of their culture, religion, or location. Often visualized as a great snake, this serpent of Kundalini energy has been coiled around the base of the spine since birth. Awakening Kundalini causes the energy to ignite and rise through the chakras. It lights up each chakra, each energy center, giving each one an energetic boost along its way, continuing towards the higher crown chakra and beyond. Rising Kundalini can trigger positive and negative experiences. A spontaneous awakening can be triggered by extreme events in your personal life, such as abuse or trauma, accidents, major life events, extreme stress, and drug use. Being unprepared can leave you feeling lost in life, overwhelmed, depressed, or fearful as the body and brain struggle to comprehend its intensity, choosing to restrict its movement. In a more controlled environment, yoga practice, intense energy work, and meditation can also release this potent energy. If you have a limited ego structure and are ready to surrender to your Kundalini, you will pass through this experience with minimal complications. Ultimately, how you receive this awakening depends upon your outlook on life. Continual spiritual work is recommended now to remove any self-restrictions you may have in your life. Right now, you are heading into unfamiliar territory. Empathy for others increases while the interest in your own life begins to step into the shadows. As you begin to realign your life, you may be even asking, who am I? Who am I? Releasing patterns and conditions the self has placed on the psyche, now is the time to realign your being to your unique blueprint. Currently, you are dissolving personal patterns that are no longer needed. If it is not serving you at the highest level, it will soon be removed. The release of Kundalini energy can herald great change. Assess the success of your coping strategies during stressful and emotional periods. Forever changed by your experiences, reignite your fire and passion for life by connecting to your inner spark. Here's the affirmation for you. I am my own healer. I hear these messages loud and clear. I am my own healer. I hear these messages loud and clear. And the archangel that comes, or the angel that comes with this card, is Guardian Angel Malahel. And Guardian Angel Malahel, what he or she does is remove toxicity and helps in self-expression. How perfect is this card in regards to what we just talked about? So Archangel Melahel, Melahel, and you can call this angel to come in to help you remove toxicity in your body, in your life, in every area of your life, and to help you to express yourself beautifully, right? So again, affirmation, I am my own healer. I hear these messages loud and clear. If you received card number 1 this week, you are reigniting your spark, your divine spark. Let's move on to card number 2. Okay. If you, this card is beautiful. Are you ready? If you received card number 2 to guide you through this week, here's your card. And it says, mindful wisdom, create inner harmony and silence your inner critic. I love owls, by the way, so this is beautiful. Create inner harmony, silence your inner critic. Here's your message. Breathe and receive. Mindfulness is the simple act of being present in each moment. But for most people, it is not always achievable during daily life. Complications of employment, relationships, children, social activities, and career choices can all seem to distract us from achieving this goal. It is only when you choose to become present that you receive clarity of consciousness, peace of mind, and objective understanding surrounding current issues. The owl is a representation of inner knowing and mindfulness. Patiently and carefully monitoring your surroundings, followed by clear and direct action. You may be feeling confused about people's actions, but like the owl, we must observe our surroundings to the best of our ability to see the real meaning of a person's actions or the origin of specific issues. Now is the time to journey inwards to access your inner knowing and personal wisdom through mindful practice to create a homeostasis, an equilibrium in your heart and mind. Bring yourself back to a heart space where you can approach anything with calmness and clarity. Right now, place yourself of value. When the owl appears in your life, it encourages you to use strong intuition to gain wisdom about matters that you shouldn't ignore. More importantly, self-worth and confidence. Tolerance can be achieved through objectivity and confidence. Tolerance can be achieved through objectivity and inner peace. Acknowledging all our experiences so we can be objective with our emotions and mental processes. Instead of reacting immediately out of anger, mindfulness allows you to be aware of this anger, helping you realizing why you are angry and then process the circumstances surrounding the emotion. This new form of emotional intelligence allows you to physically react using a positive process and method that is beneficial to you and others, while understanding the reasoning behind their behaviors. Again, perfect with the message that came in for this week, right? So the angel that is coming in with this card. So first of all, your totem, your animal totem, your animal guide is the owl. If card number two came to you. And the angel you're working with this week is Archangel Zadkiel. Archangel Zadkiel, and he's going to be helping you with forgiveness, releasing judgment, and painful memories. I mean, seriously, like you can't make it up. This is all perfect, like perfect for the message that came in this week. And here is the affirmation that you can use this week. I react sensitively to others as I respect my own personal boundaries. I react sensitively to others as I respect my personal boundaries. Again, call in Archangel Zadkiel to help you to forgive, to release the judgment and the painful memories. Like, this is so perfect. And you can actually use this throughout the retrograde with the Chiron retrograde. This is like gold. Card number 2, mindful wisdom, emotional intelligence, right? If you received card number 3, oh, this is beautiful too. Your message this week is to ground your light. Look at how beautiful this card is. Ground your light. Shine your light on the world and let your soul shine. Shine your light on the world and let your soul shine. So here's your message, card number 3. The method of grounding our energy bodies. Auric fields. Auric fields and consciousness is to solidify our being in the present. Okay. Here's your message for this week. The method of grounding our energy bodies, auric fields, and consciousness is to solidify our being in the present. Through the grounding process, our emotional, physical, and spiritual bodies become unified, bringing balance and well-being to our soul and spirit. While this practice can be challenging, it is important for you to remember you are influenced energetically by your environment. Grounding anchors your energetic fields and connects you to your emotional body while being present and mindful within those moments. Strengthening your aura and emotional and physical body is the primary goal of mindfulness. As we feel everything that we experience through this energetic space, you are doing yourself a disservice if you refuse to honor your own shining light. Embrace the inner spark that sets you apart from everyone else. Claim and accept who you are as an individual so you can thrive in life. Embrace yourself with this new confidence. Currently, you may be feeling sluggish, unmotivated, and energetically flat. Your energy is distributed across different areas of interest and therefore is making you weaker. Pay close attention to how your body reacts around certain people, places, and situations. It is up to you to develop healthy personal and physical boundaries. Right now, you need to ground your own light. Come back to your heart space and center yourself in the present moment. Make yourself consciously aware of your breathing. Is it slow? Is it fast? Is it intermittent? Integrate your physical space, your physical body with positive charge by grounding your new and current experiences with breath work. Bringing in new light energy through your crown and anchoring your sacred self through your earth chakras will assist the grounding process. More importantly, never give power to anyone to dim your light. You are a lighthouse. I'm going to repeat this. You are a lighthouse and deserve to shine your light across the night. So the angel that is coming in to with this card to assist you this week is Archangel Sandalphon. And he's going to be helping you to energetically ground your energy. You will energetically ground and be in the present. Here is the affirmation you can work with through this week to help you ground your light. I anchor and ground my divine light in my heart. I am free. I anchor and ground my divine light in my heart. I am free. So I don't know if you noticed this, the exercise I walk you guys through every single week with each forecast, bringing the light in your heart and expanding it all around you. That is exactly what it's talking about. So if you've been following me for a while, if you've been doing this with me, you have been grounding your light. So this week, continue to do that. Call in all your energies, call in on all your light, anchor it in your heart, call in your higher self right here, and then allow that light to expand from your heart out. Okay. Again, affirmation for this week, card number 3. I anchor and ground my divine light in my heart. I am free. This is definitely my card because this is something that I've been doing more of lately, and it just feels really good to me. So this is definitely my card for this week. Taking a deep breath in, connecting to your breath, connecting to your heart. I want you to open up completely as I share Mother Mary's message for you. Okay. You can close your eyes with this one and actually just listen to it. So the card that came in, the message from Mother Mary says, Our Lady of Holy Fire. Doesn't this remind you of the first card with igniting your divine garden? I have a heart garden. I also have a crystalline temple in my heart garden that I do a lot of my healing work in. So go ahead and find a sacred space within your heart garden. I want you to go there. Let's go ahead and call in Mother Mary in. See her emerge and walk towards you. And you can have her sit with you, or you can stand in front of her, however you want to have this conversation. But this is how I want you to receive her message. Like, let her speak it into you. So close your eyes. Envision, see, sense, or feel her standing in front of you with her hands on her heart, and she touches your heart as well. Breathe. Do you feel her? I do. And receive. Close your eyes. To live is to burn, to grow, and to ignite the heart and soul with passionate devotion to higher purpose. Mother Mary speaks. I ask you to honor me, even when it seems like what you love is burning away, or what you have believed in is failing you. I ask you to remain open to me, even if you are in shock, denial, or feel betrayed or broken. To live with an open heart is for the brave souls that love me and are capable of loving the world. I bring you holy fire. It burns through me as spiritual passion and ignites now in you also, my child. You are to receive this fire now and set the heart of the world aflame. When we don't have spiritual passion in our hearts, we fall in love with empty substitutes. We might yearn for a fantasy relationship that never quite manifests, or does for a short time before revealing itself to be less than substantial. Or perhaps we yearn for a great job with a great income, only to find that even if we achieve this, there's still a space in our hearts that is not satisfied by what we have attained. To feel truly connected to our own divine destiny, we have to be willing to allow our hearts to burn for something greater than our own individual needs and wants. It is not comfortable to do this, but it is fulfilling in a way that cannot be attained by any other method. It is not bad to have individual needs and wants, of course. We cannot quench another's thirst if our cup is so broken it cannot sustain nourishing liquids for us, let alone for anyone else. Yet, the oracle of Our Lady of Holy Fire speaks to you of a passion for the divine coming into our hearts, which will heal us and empower us to love the world, allowing the Divine Mother to flow through us and assist our world, which is in the midst of rebirth right now. The holy fire in our hearts is what makes us want to grow spiritually. We cannot help but be intrigued by it, feel drawn to it, compelled to work at it, and keep going even when it gets tough or seems downright impossible. It is what makes us want to contribute something helpful to the world, to become empowered and truthful in how we live, to want to live with goodwill and a genuine desire that all beings become happy and free. Taking a deep breath in here. The holy fire in the heart is what fuels us when we are in the dark, challenging times, when we are in the dark, challenging times in our lives. When we force ourselves through the strength of our inner will to reach towards the divine for help, rather than collapsing in defeat or drowning in feelings of rejection or abandonment. Oro es eni kiara suru wadina sarakia. Oro sini saraki diroa e nasara turu kua kitiara saria. Our Lady of Holy Fire is the patron protector of the mystical soul, the soul that yearns to know the divine and connect in a real, nourishing, and palpable way. That soul wants to know the divine more than it wants to play power games or rule the world. That soul wants to cut through all the nonsense that it knows is not as important and experience divine truth. Uru asunu warhiera satira wakitea, anasoro atiru suru kitiara, aro sinia sariyatitioa. You hold within you this mystical heart, beloved. And Our Lady comes to you with acknowledgement of this and appreciation for your spiritual practice. If you have been feeling that your faith has been wavering or finding it difficult to trust that a situation will work out, or doubting yourself, fearing that you are not honoring your inner wisdom in a particular situation, Our Lady comes to you with comfort. She reinforces your spiritual strength now. Urisinia kiara satirua anasari wo kuati terua satia oro satin no akitira satia. She reminds you now of the unlimited divine resources you have access to through her grace. She reminds you that to love is to burn in spiritual fire for the divine, and that this fire is in your heart, fully ignited. She reminds you that you are her child, yes, but you are a living divine flame, filled with her power and glory, and nothing shall subdue your light or spirit. Karasudu tina saria toa, ano soru kikiara saria, ono satiri kina nasoru kitioroa, anasori kitia saraikia. If you are finding it difficult to relate to this message, you are being asked to loosen your grip on a situation that you are trying to hold on to. Let it burn in the holy fire of the Mother, and know that what emerges from that situation will be far superior and far more suitable for all concerned. Taking a deep breath in and out. Allowing it to burn means being completely honest, not hiding yourself or your true feelings. It means giving up the doubt and daring to believe that you don't have to be afraid. If you don't feel ready to do this quite yet, that is fine. You will get to that place at the right time and in the right way. Trust her and trust yourself, and do the following healing process to assist you no matter where you are in this lesson of Our Lady of Holy Fire. Taking a deep breath in and out. I want you to go right back into your heart. If you popped out for a second, just go right back into your heart. I want you to see this living flame burning within your heart. Bright, powerful, and intense. Oro usenia sara kuakitina, oro siti tera sanua kitiara, oro sani sini kiara kioro, oro sini sara kinyasa. You may hear it crackling or feel its heat on your skin, but it will not harm you. Within the flame, the face of a beautiful woman appears, with her hands raised in blessing. Through the fire, she speaks to you and says that she is going to help you find your deepest desires and deepest fulfillment. She asks you to trust her. Now place your hands at your heart, and if you can trust her, imagine that the fire with her beautiful essence within it is now burning gently within your heart, radiating through your entire body, all the way up and out through the top of your head and all the way down and out through the soles of your feet. You are a living flame filled with holy light. You are a living flame filled with holy light. Oro setina saraketiera kwakia. Ana satare kwakiera satiena. Sutiena sarawatieta sara. Ori sini kikiaroso. Oro sunana saria. Ana soroki nesaria kia. Allow yourself to stay and burn in the sacred fire with her as it cleanses and protects you. When you're ready, repeat this after me, either within or out loud. Our Lady of Holy Fire, Mother Mary, who loves me unconditionally, bless me with your powerful, compassionate truth. May my heart burn with that truth. May it set the world free. Our Lady of Holy Fire, Mother Mary, who loves me unconditionally, bless me with your powerful, compassionate truth. May my heart burn with that truth, and may it set the world free. Our Lady of Holy Fire, Mother Mary, who loves me unconditionally, bless me with your powerful, compassionate truth. May my heart burn with that truth, and may it set the world free. Oro si etina sara kituru, ora asa anitiro soni kiara sa, aro sono koko akitina sara origuania, aro sore e kiara so, ana soro se nia tero koakitia, kona sanina oro os etnia sara, anasaro soria, china se kina saro, oro se nia sari nia, ore sin saat enoa at noa sari tinoa ekina soro kukuare sa anasari ya duro eyara sa nukua kitina ad os at I aruosa enia sara sunua ekshira sa tiara oro so kinasara sa ora sa nia sara shua. So taking a deep breath in and out. 2 more times. In breath in, slowly and gently. Release normally. 1 more time. In breath in, deeper. and out slowly and deeply. May you be blessed abundantly and exceedingly this week. Know that you are held by the Divine Mother. You are held by the angels and archangels. You are held by your own divinity. I want you to acknowledge yourself, love yourself, honor yourself. Wherever you are in your journey, be gentle with yourself. You are so loved and cherished. From my heart to yours. Until next time.